Hey, Friendos, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notify bell next to it to make sure you're always getting your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers. It's all a great way to support Going In Raw. Starting at $1, you get the show ad-free, you get a shout-out. And at the $20 mark, not only do you get the Friendo Care Package, which includes a comic book, a poster, some stickers, but you also get to put your video question right here on Matt Chat, or you can just send us a text message. Not a text message. You can send us an email with a text question,
there
I
you
should
go.
say. And we'll answer it or debate it right here on Matt Chat.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Dear.
Come here, you. Anyways. So, we're coming quickly to WrestleMania. So maybe, do we have any WrestleMania questions?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right on. But we're not going to talk about WrestleMania right now. Instead, we have a returning Matt Chatter.
Yeah.
TNA for Life is back, and let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, it's your boy TNA for Life, back for another Matt Chat question. I want to know, Stephen Larson. So apparently, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have chosen not to re-sign their contracts, and apparently they're going to be going to AEW. That's just the rumor around the mill right now. I want to know, if you are in the position, let's say you guys are a tag team, you are in the position of Gallows and Anderson. You know, you're not on the card every week. You do the house shows, but you're not always on TV. But you have a nice contract. Do you take that guaranteed money, or do you go to the company that you're really taking a chance with? Yes, they have money, but they don't have history. What do? Do you go to AEW and take that chance, or do you stay in WWE? Thanks, guys. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Peace.
Thank you, TNA for Life.
Thank you, TNA
Larson,
for Life. Welcome back.
You and I, let's just have this conversation. All this, you have an answer, I have an answer. You and I are a tag team. We don't disagree on much. But we're sitting there raking in millions of dollars. We don't have to do a whole lot. We get dark matches. Apparently, Club versus Sanity was a dark match, according to the Friendo Cam, who was there in attendance this past Tuesday
on SmackDown Live TV.
SmackDown Vive TV. We're sitting there, stacks of cash. Evidently, according to the same report, Carl Anderson is able to see his family on a regular basis somehow.
Well, 2 days a week. I guess if you're traveling back and forth at Japan, you're in Japan for weeks on end.
Well,
if you're doing the full tour.
Yeah, but
So in between tours, I think you'd have time off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he wrestling in the Indies when he wasn't in Japan?
I don't know. But he seems happy. And then Carl Anderson posted a little tweet with his little kid saying, "Don't believe everything you read." I think the club probably they're just using some leverage. Anyways, we're fine. We don't wrestle that often. We're not expected to do much. We're old. Well, in their position, they're younger. So, like, let's say, hey, we're in our early 30s, mid-30s.
Yeah.
Gallows is young. He's like 33 or
34. I think
yeah.
Anderson's like 37.
Yeah, that sounds right. Dude, we're making a lot of money. We've already stashed enough for retirement. Well, come on. We're in the WWE. At any moment, they can put those titles on us. At any moment, a team could go down. Plenty of teams, listen, plenty of teams are going to be hightailing for AEW anyways. Let's just stick this out, and we'll still be on the biggest stage, making the most money with these titles. I'm sorry, dude, but the con dudes, they're not going to pay us the big money. Let's just stay here. We're good. Agreed?
As you mentioned, we had a really good first contract at WWE. Got a decent nest egg sitting in the bank for retirement.
And they're looking to double up on that.
But maybe it might take a couple fewer dollars. Let's go have some fun with our buddies. Let's go.
We have Finn and AJ here.
Yeah, but we never get to see them because we don't get to do anything with them.
I've been hanging out with Eric Young. That dude is fun.
Yeah, but we can be hanging out with Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho.
They're going to be our boss. You want those kids, those juniors to be our bosses? They're the boss of us.
I feel like the Jacksons are both at least the same age as Doc Gallows. They're both in their
juniors.
30s.
They're small.
Oh, get out of here with that. Here's the thing. Cool factor. I want to work with a company that's cool. I want to be on TV.
Are they really
I
cool?
want my kids to be able to watch me wrestle on a weekly basis. They can't do that now.
They're not really
unless we
cool.
do set up the inflatable ring in the backyard.
New Japan is
I
cool.
think Carl Anderson has one of those inflatable rings. His kids wrestling. I think he's posted videos on Twitter to that effect.
I'm totally happy with that.
And the thing about AEW, yeah, I get to see my kids perhaps more now than I did when I was working in Japan. But if I'm working AEW, we're talking monthly TV tapings. We're talking limited road schedule. I'm home 3 or 4 days a week. I'll take that over being home a day and a half.
They said they want weekly TV and a full road schedule because they're paying so much money. They need to make a return on that investment.
I understand that. However,
same schedule.
Same schedule?
Bad schedule.
Oh, I'll work with my friends.
But we have friends.
But I never see
AJ's
him.
our best friend. Finn's our best friend.
Never see Finn. He's on the
We're
other
here
show.
all the time.
But Finn's on the other show.
They're going to move us to Raw.
Not true.
They're going to move him to SmackDown.
Rumor and innuendo.
They're going to move him to SmackDown. We see AJ every day. We travel with him. He's our best friend.
I'm speaking for myself.
Are you going to break this up?
Yeah.
You're going to break this up?
I'll be Machine Gun over in AEW, and you can...
Good luck with that.
You can wallow in WWE, Luke.
Tell you what. Can we have it come down to rock, paper,
Hey,
scissors?
man, I was a G1 finalist one year.
Yeah,
in
2009.
I have a bright singles career ahead of me.
Was it
should
that
I
long
want
ago?
to.
Was it 2009?
I thought it was sooner than that. I thought it was like 2011 or something.
Fine.
He met,
2013.
He met in the finals against Okada. Okada wasn't Okada in 2009. Still. Bright future as a singles
Try
wrestler in
regaining
all
that
elite
after
wrestling.
After the tag team
Hey,
hole
man,
you
everybody's
dug
saying
yourself
I'm one of
in.
the most underappreciated wrestlers in the world. It's not in WWE. I don't get to do what I do best, which is tell stories.
Well, hey, man, I'm Gallows. I kind of need
And I
you.
don't get to do this in WWE.
Well, that's true. See, that's a good selling point right there, doing the machine gun thing. You know, the bigger selling point is the fact that they have the sound of the machine gun going off when you do that. That's really cool.
But I want to do it myself. That's even cooler.
Heads we stay, tails we go.
I'm not going to leave it to fate. I'm gone. I'm out the door. You can stay if you want to.
Pick a side,
I'm
friendo.
gone.
Pick a side.
Well, what does the side mean?
Pick a side. Heads we stay, tails we go.
All right, tails. Well, I mean, I have to pick a side because you
Heads
pick
we
a side.
stay. Heads we stay.
No, I said tails.
Sucker.
I'm out the door. Gone. Greener pastures. Try my hand elsewhere where I know there's a better chance since there's not so much talent around to congest every scene for me to make some headway.
Wrap it up,
Get
wrap
on
it up,
TV.
wrap it up, wrap
Become
it
a
up.
huge star.
Wrap
Single
it up.
star is Machine
Yeah,
Gun
no.
Carl Anderson.
Too many single stars, man. They need to be a tag team. And you're right, they should leave. Next up, from the good friendo, Graham Too Sweet Me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's see what he has to say.
By Steve Larson. I'm back in hospital again, unfortunately. But my question this week is, Larson, I want you to debate why Drew should beat Roman, and Steve, I want you to debate why Roman should beat Drew at WrestleMania. Too sweet, Hardy Andre.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
All right, here's why Drew should win. He hasn't really been doing a whole lot in the last few months.
No.
He's been palling around with Baron.
Ooh.
And Bob Lashley. Bob Lashley is now Intercontinental Champion. He was former Intercontinental
Bob Lashley
Champion.
a lot better when he's palling around with Leo Rush.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Drew should not be... Even before that, he was a henchman for Baron when he was general manager.
Yeah, it's terrible.
In no universe should Drew McIntyre be a henchman.
No.
Nor should he even be palling around with anybody.
No.
He should be blazing a path of destruction on his own.
Correct.
And to get moving forward in that direction,
Yes.
path of destruction,
Yeah.
destroying everybody and everything in
Yes.
his sight, it has to start at Mania.
Right.
And unfortunately, that means Roman has to lose.
Incorrect. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say. Wow. That was dumb. No way. Drew cannot beat Roman. Roman just came back from having leukemia. What you're saying is stupid.
Graham asked me to make an impossible argument, basically.
No, I kind of like your side. I wish you would have given me Drew. He totally should win. He totally should win. And I'm like, part of me thinks that Roman should turn heel too. Because, come on, he'd be so, oh man. People, I think, deep down just want to boo Roman.
Maybe.
They want to do that.
You have
They're
that,
not allowed
you
to
have
now.
that in your head, yeah.
They're not allowed to now. So give him a reason. Look, the only reason Roman should win is because he came back from leukemia, and it's kind of a no-brainer. Drew should totally win, though. He
Probably
really should.
It'll be a good showing for both of them because I'm still convinced that Dean's going to help Roman eventually.
That's how
get the
you get
W.
out of the conundrum. That's how you get out of it. You need two members of the Shield to beat one Drew McIntyre. That's what it should be. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, the Raptor has a question.
Yes.
It's literally a Raptor.
Take it away, Raptor.
Greetings, Steven Larson. This is I, the Raptor, with a wrestling question. Why the hell should I care about Drew McIntyre in the WWE? He's terrible. He's awful. Give me a reason, or I'll eat you.
Thank you, Dinosaur.
Thank you, Dinosaur.
Thank you, the Raptor. Steve, go ahead.
Raptor. We shouldn't care about Drew McIntyre because, as you just pointed out, they haven't given us a reason to care about Drew McIntyre. This past week on Raw, we saw actually a really killer main event, a Falls Count Anywhere match where he stabbed Dean Ambrose in the eye with a pencil.
And then stabbed the LED board with Dean's head.
Yeah, and Dean bit his finger, and my God, it made me remember just how cool Drew McIntyre is. But good Lord, there are flashes of brilliance here and there. There are flashes of what we love about Drew McIntyre. But my God, they have given us zero reason to care about him. What you just said is true. He needs a path of destruction. Possibly the way to really put him back on the map, have him beat Roman Reigns. If Dean doesn't get involved, you could always chalk it up to Roman having ring rust. That's actually a very good reason as to why he should lose that match.
Yeah.
So we should start caring now because he's going to be taking on Roman. I might pick Drew to win that thing.
All right.
Very low confidence.
All right.
But, you know, we've had no reason to care. We've had no reason to care. He's not a henchman. He's a leader, and he's going to be.
No, he's not a leader. He's a lone wolf.
Don't say that. That's a different guy. He should be top heel on Raw.
He should be. He definitely should be.
Go ahead.
And if you pay attention to what he does on a week-by-week basis, there's a lot there to appreciate about his skill set, regardless of how poorly creative has treated him. He, no matter what he does, brings everything to it. I'll mention this because this is an unforgettable moment for me.
You bring this up every time.
Because it's so indicative of his attention to detail, his commitment to character.
Back like 3 months.
I don't care. Maybe 6 months.
Very long time.
It's a match with Dolph taking on somebody. That's irrelevant.
With who?
Somebody.
No, who's he taking on?
Dolph.
Who's that?
So Drew is ringside, and all he does is just reach out to grab the rope.
Yeah. But
what is, for a lot of wrestlers, a fairly meaningless gesture was imbued with such meaning just because how he did it. Mm-hmm. He managed to reach out and grab the rope to lean a little closer to ring to watch the match with such sinister intentions.
Yeah.
Like at any moment, he could just slide under that bottom rope and lay out whoever Dolph was wrestling.
Yeah.
And he brings that level of attention to detail, commitment, character to everything he does. He's one of the best promos on Raw. Captivating. When he speaks, it seems genuine. Mm-hmm. He doesn't come off. His promos don't ever come off as scripted. Mm. He's really good. And I mean, he's 6'5", 260 pounds of pure muscle. Mm-hmm. He looks like he can kick anybody's ass, basically. Mm-hmm. He's legit. He's fun to watch in the ring. Whenever he deadlifts anybody, it's impressive as all get out. Yeah. He's a heck of an athlete, a heck of a talent. And put him in some real interesting storylines. Man.
Once they do that, I'll care.
I care because I see the ingredients there for greatness.
Well, a lot of people have ingredients. I don't care about Apollo Crews. I want to. But they don't let me because they don't do anything.
You can care about Apollo Crews if you want to. You can say, man, this guy has all the talent in the world.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
You care about Apollo Crews?
I do.
You probably shouldn't.
I do because I think he's really good.
They don't do anything with him. When's the last? Do you tune into Main Event to watch his matches?
No.
Then you don't care about him.
No, I care about his future and I care about him being a success because I think he's immensely talented.
You want the guy to succeed. I'm just saying, have they given you a reason to care about what they're doing with him right now? No, they haven't because you don't watch Main Event.
But I care about what happens to him because I think he's really good.
Well, I care about all these people. I want them to do good.
You're speaking about caring within kayfabe, and I'm not. That's what you're talking about anyway.
Well, that's all that matters.
No, it doesn't.
It is.
Next, the Enforcer. See what the Enforcer has to say.
Steven Larson and all the friendos out there, it's the Enforcer here with the Matt Chat question. And I want to talk about a promo that Randy Orton and AJ Styles had this week on SmackDown, where Randy Orton says that he didn't have to go on the indie scene, that AJ Styles had to work in bingo halls and all that. But let's say Randy Orton did actually have to work the independent scene in those years. what kind of Randy Orton would we have now, and how much would he differ from what we see now? Because really just got my mind going as to a match between Okada and Orton in New Japan at the Dome, or a TNA X Division match with Randy Orton. What that would have been. Promos back in the day with Randy Orton. Not the biggest Randy Orton guy, but this really got me going because he's feuding with AJ Styles. But just let me know your thoughts, guys. Independent Randy Orton. What kind of Randy Orton would he be? Thanks, guys. Too sweet and a hearty handshake.
Thank you, Enforcer.
Thank you, Enforcer. Another quality
Match
jersey.
chat question. Yeah,
I was going to say jersey.
And his collection of hockey jerseys is
you and I do have
incredible.
really good chemistry because we've known each other way too long. Like, way too long.
About 20 years. More than.
You have finished so many of my sentences incorrectly lately. It's hilarious.
I think I know. I think I know you. This is what, in my mind, this is what Orton kind of, if he could time travel, if you can take the knowledge and experience and maturity level of Randy Orton
now. You're talking. Now we're on the same page. Now I'm caring about a time travel.
Yeah. Send him back maybe 10 years, 10 to 12 years. So we're talking mid-aughts. This is what I think would work really well for Randy Orton.
Okay.
Even today. He was seemingly on board with Rip Rogers as far as all the diving and moonsaults and all the stuff, the ... dive versus ... headlock stuff. He was team headlock.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if he were out in the indies and he fashioned himself the anti-indie star. Remember when Mick Foley was in ECW and decided, I'm not doing hardcore matches anymore. I'm wrestling traditional mat-based wrestling.
Yeah.
The heat he got on that. Imagine if Orton, with some really, really strong character work, went to these indie shows against all these high flyers. These guys do all these incredible spots. And he says, nope, none of that. Headlock for you.
Yeah.
The amount of heat that he would get doing that kind of stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think it'd be good. I think if you go back to Randy Orton's origins, if WWE was like, no, we don't want people like you, and Bob Orton, Bob Orton did something to piss people off, and Orton had to start in the indies, I think he'd just be Samoa Joe. He would look like Randy Orton, and he would look a lot older because he wouldn't have had the luxuries of the WWE.
He wouldn't have had his bus.
Exactly. So he'd probably look a little more grizzled. But I think it'd be Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe's a guy who started around the same time. He's got the same level of intensity. It's just Samoa Joe did it.
I don't think anybody has the same level of intensity as Samoa Joe.
Oh, I think Orton has it. Oh, absolutely. I think Orton phones it in so you don't see it as much. I think Samoa Joe has much more consistency with it. That's for sure. But when Orton brings it, Orton brings it. So yeah, I think on top of that, I think part of the Randy Orton thing is that he's been in the same place for so long. That's why he phones it in.
Could be.
Samoa Joe has traveled the world.
He has wealth of experience, perspective.
Yeah. So I think he'd be like Samoa Joe, only Randy Orton. I think that's what we'd get.
He'd be like Samoa Joe, but Randy Orton.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
though.
I know what you're saying.
He'd be a guy that everybody's chomping at the bit to get to WWE. That's what he'd be.
Next from the Hall of Famer, Christian.
Hey Steve, hey Larson, I'm out here in the depths of night to ask you guys a Matt chat question. My question for you guys is the lineage of championships, and specifically the WWE and Universal Championships. My question regarding these is this. Since the Universal title was introduced in the summer of 2016, which belt has more lineage? So starting from Finn Balor as first champion and Dean Ambrose as the WWE champion to present day with the new Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar. Which title has a more impressive lineage? Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, Christian.
All right, go ahead and win this argument because you kind of have the upper hand here, Steve.
There's no right. There honestly is no right answer here. There really isn't. It's a great question, though.
It is a good question.
I would actually personally say, and look, you can be real about it because we could just talk about this. Look at the breakdown here. You got the Universal Championship just is more along my line. Finn Balor kicked it off. which was great. That was like basically his debut. Then it was vacated because he got injured during that match. And then Triple H handed it to Kevin Owens. We're both huge marks for Kevin Owens. I love that Goldberg had it for a month. That's awesome. And that was a killer feud between him and Lesnar. Lesnar got it back. And Lesnar, just by virtue of being Brock Lesnar, being a part-timer, that's the marquee title. That's the title that they really wanted Roman Reigns to have to solidify him as the guy. And granted, a long time of that now since really 2017. So the past 2 years, yeah, it's been a mess because of the Reigns-Lesnar thing. Reigns got it at SummerSlam last year.
Had to unfortunately vacate it.
Right. Brock Lesnar got it back at Crown Jewel. Yeah, because he beat Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I never saw it. But
it says on Wikipedia there, so we got to take that as true.
Right. But I mean, it's obviously it's the big title. It's the one they all consider a big deal. Daniel Bryan I don't think he'd ever have the Universal title. I don't think, Kofi Kingston would be, fighting for the Universal title. It's the rarefied air title. And because of that, and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar,
I think it's treated as the most prestigious belt because they wish it so, but also because of the people that have held it. I think one kind of feeds into the other. The fact that Brock had it for almost a year and a half. He's had it twice. Yeah. You had Kevin Owens, Goldberg, and Roman Reigns as well as Finn in that list, and it's a pretty prestigious list. And not to take away from anybody who's held the WWE title since about the middle of 2016, because there are some really high caliber wrestlers. You got John Cena, his record tying title reign was with the WWE title.
Yeah.
Granted, he only had it for about 14 days. 2 AJ Styles reigns, one of which was more than a year,
which were great.
Yeah,
and Daniel Bryan's doing great work right now.
Currently, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton had it briefly. However, I mentioned John Cena's reign of 14 days, completely transitional.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt had it for almost 50 days, again more or less transitional. Get that belt on Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Who himself was oddly somewhat transitional because he ended up dropping it to Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Who had it for 170 days.
Yeah.
In hopes. We had read that they wouldn't put the belt on Jinder in hopes of making advances in the market in India. I don't know if that ever really panned out. Creatively, his reign was hit or miss.
So it's one of those things where we both acknowledge it's by and large crap, but we really like Jinder. So.
Yeah, and there was moments where it was entertaining. His feud with Nakamura was not good.
No,
it was very bad.
What was the best thing they did with Jinder in that title?
It was probably the stuff with Orton. The matches weren't good, but some of the promos were okay.
Yeah, it was.
I think we enjoyed Jinder to a degree.
Well, number one, it was a guy who. Here's what I liked about Jinder. He had obviously, and I know that a lot of people looked at him and was like, "Man, there's no way he can't be enhanced in a certain way because of how he came back." But he obviously also worked his ass off. He was an out of nowhere option. I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah. And then there was some good work there.
He was doing everything he could.
Yes.
And I really love how they repackaged him to make him look like a big deal.
But was it a success? Probably not.
No, I don't.
Probably not.
I don't think it was.
And then they've, since then it's just been AJ and Daniel Bryan. Both those reigns have been really good so far. But when the belt is treated as kind of the B title by the company,
it's the.
I mean, it's the Universal title that has the better lineage because it's treated as such.
Okay, well let's ask this then. What out of all these has had the best single reign? It's got to be AJ, right? AJ or Daniel Bryan right now? Daniel Bryan's had that thing for
AJ had it forever.
5 months.
AJ's had it forever, but I can't think of a feud that the Joe feud. That's the best feud he had.
The Joe feud and the Nakamura feud had some good matches.
Yeah, good matches.
We were just sad that Nakamura never had it. Never got the title.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. It just the only really good match between AJ and Nakamura was their last one, the Last Man Standing one, the very last one.
I would say the best feud.
I think the best feud AJ had was with Samoa Joe.
What's the best feud out of either of these titles? I would say it's probably Brock Goldberg. That's probably the best feud.
It's the most entertaining one
since 2016.
Although Dean and AJ towards the tail end of 2016 had some fun matches.
Yeah, they did some good stuff.
The TLC match was really fun.
Yeah. And then of course, how was that? The AJ Cena
Rumble match was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as good as their SummerSlam match the year prior.
Right.
A lot of people thought it was better than that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's universal, but there's been quality stuff on both sides.
Yeah, there has been. It has been. There has been. Yes.
All right. What a good conversation.
Question.
That was a great question. Yeah, man.
Next, we got a question from Loki of the Freak Legion,
got
joined by Buddy Love and Delete.
He's got the Legion with him. Let's take a look.
Hello, Stephen Larson. Loki Richard here with my other freaks. Delete, Buddy Love. We just made our debut and it was fantastic. So our Matt question for you is, what is the best debut? My favorite, Kane. Big guy in the mask, rips the door off the Hell in a Cell, destroys the Undertaker. Delete.
Mine's going to be the Nexus because they definitely were nothing but destruction when they debuted, so got to go with it.
Buddy? Oh, Jericho. Good choice. Have fun with the debate, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Loki.
All
right, so I think the right answer is Jericho.
Oh, the right answer is 100%
That's
Jericho.
the best debut. However, let's set that aside because Buddy Love mentioned it. I'm going to go with Kevin Owens when he debuted on the main roster. Who
did Delete say?
He said, oh, dear.
I know Loki said Kane. Kane's a killer one also.
Kane's good.
I mean, that's the thing. I think those are two of the best ones, Kane and Jericho. Those are both really good. I know. It's killing me right now, too.
Here, let me answer and I'll
right.
check. Kevin Owens for me when he came up from NXT to answer John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge and instead just laid him out, stepped on the U.S. title, held up the NXT Championship, saying this is the belt that really matters. Their first match, surprise, Kevin Owens win. They had a great feud through that whole late spring and early summer.
It was the blueprint for how NXT call-ups should be done, man.
Yep.
Especially if you're champion. That's the blueprint right there.
Yep.
The absolute blueprint.
Here, let me check.
All right.
You have to...
Oh, yeah.
Nexus. That
Nexus.
was good when they tore the whole ring apart. Yeah, that was really good, too.
I'm going to say this. I like your answer. Kevin Owens is really good. My mind was blown when Shinsuke Nakamura debuted. I did not know that somebody could be that level of cool.
You mean NXT, right?
In his NXT debut.
All right.
He came out, that music, the dance and stuff. I was like, whoa. And then to see that match, oh, man, that was a killer match with Sami Zayn. I was all about it. Those are two really good examples of modern day debuts. Adam Cole's debut was also good. You don't get that anymore. Usually they're just sitting there in the NXT, oh, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
And then at some point they'll roll them out. Adam Cole, he got the special treatment. Came in and made an impact.
Lex Luger. Returning to WCW, Mall of America,
we could
puffy
talk about
shirt.
some of the worst ones, too. Yeah.
No, best. Best. You think his tubby was full of Sbarro, yay or nay?
Yeah, man. I guess that doesn't make it the best.
It does. Next, Christopher Rampersad.
Hello, Steve Larson. So my question is, do you think the Undisputed Era should break up before they go to the main roster, or should they come up together as a group? I think they should break up because I'm scared of Vince and whatever he would do.
Thank you, Christopher.
Should
the Undisputed Era part ways to preemptively avoid them being misused as a group? I'm going to say no, because if they debut not as a group, they'll probably get back around to being a group. But no, I feel like you're just doing what you're worried about doing in the first place. Which the worst thing Vince McMahon could do is break them up, or keep them off TV. That's literally the worst thing he could do, is we just don't see them. But no, they need to have a strong, impactful debut. And even if they don't, they need to be together because just the sight of them together is really cool. So no, I think you just be shooting yourself in the foot if you do that.
Oh, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Tell us how you really feel.
Probably not. No, you shouldn't break them up. But
Is there a reason why they should?
Looking at how they're being booked in NXT currently, you could say that maybe the story arc they're going to tell, it might eventually lead to them breaking up, because they keep on saying, especially Adam Cole, draped in gold in 2019.
Yeah.
If that doesn't come to fruition, there's going to be some tension between members of Undisputed Era.
Potentially.
Which could lead to a dissolution of the group,
a
breakup.
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, it'd be unfortunate because they're great together. But unless they can rekindle the chemistry they had before Bobby Fish returned, I can definitely see a situation where they might be broken up. And then Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish would continue on as tag team. Redragon continues. Roderick Strong could go after singles gold, as could Adam Cole across the various brands of WWE. Entirely possible.
There you go.
It's the best I can come up with.
Next up from Zach S. Let's see what he has to say.
What's good, Stephen Larson? Many friendos out there. It is your Match Chat Hall of Famer, Zach S. coming at you with another Match Chat question. Question this week is, Stephen Larson, this year with guys like Ricochet, Aleister Black, probably the Undisputed Era, and a couple other guys being called up most likely, do you think we will finally see Keith Lee get a actual legitimate decent push, or do you think that ship has sailed? Do you think Keith Lee sort of at his height or at his peak in NXT right now?
Thank you, Zach S.
Thank you, Zach S.
I hope so.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they were waiting for the clearing of the decks a little bit before this new crop really took hold. We're finally getting like Matt Riddle. He's getting his North American title match at TakeOver probably. I mean,
they kind of teased it the last week, yeah.
Well, yeah. And then and Keith Lee is sort of in his class. He's probably going to have a match with Dijakovic at TakeOver, I would hope. And that should be a killer match.
Hopefully, if that match is as good as we hope it is, as good as we've heard they can perform, hopefully that will be the springboard for something major for both of them.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think that the new guys are kind of getting their footing still. I don't think they've even scratched the surface of what they have planned for Keith Lee.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the reactions he's going to get, I think, are going to be are going to push him to the top.
He's money. He's a lot of money. He's really good.
Next up, Luis Arezia. Let's see what he has to say.
What's up, Stephen Larson? It's the Rain Trigger, Luis Arezia, longtime friend though, first-time match hatter. And my question is, should the NXT North American Championship have an option C, like the X Division title and TNA? I think so. Guys like Adam Kovic, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, these guys can put on quality matches for the NXT title, and if they just cash it in, they automatically get an opportunity. That's it for me. Too sweet, hearty handshake.
Thank you, Luis.
Thank you, Luis, and welcome. No, that's a TNA thing. WWE doesn't do TNA things. It's also kind of what the Gift of God's title is. No.
Yeah.
I like how they do storylines. I feel like I have a booger in my nose now since I snorted.
You're a mess, dude.
I am. I'm still been dealing with sickness. No, I like how they handle title programs in NXT. I see no reason to have any sort of money in the bank, option C, gift of the gods type deal, instant cash-in situation. It's unnecessary. It's not how they operate. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Carry on as you're going. It's been working.
Yes, absolutely.
Give me this pen.
The more weird gimmicks, the better. The more weird stuff, the better. The more unpredictability, the better. And that's what it present. Absolutely. I'm always a fan of that kind of stuff. Hell yeah, somebody comes running in. Oh, my God, this guy's going to do something crazy now? Oh, dear. Heck yeah. Just for Moro's reaction alone. Go! Go!
You don't hear him.
He's got the ball. He's got the ball.
You're not satisfied with the number of Mamma Mia's you hear him say in the course of any given program?
Explode. Mamma Mia, option C is now on the table. Oh, I can give it a... Yeah, man, absolutely.
No way.
Do it.
No. Unnecessary.
It's not your choice.
I know, it's not yours either.
Matthew Lawrence has a question. Shut up.
You shut up.
Hey, Stephen Larson, Friendo Universe, back with another Matt Chat question. Been a while, but I was watching some old Raw footage the other day of Doink the Clown, and fantastic wrestler. I'd like for you guys to do your math on him, and maybe if you guys could think of modern day equivalent of Doink the Clown, guy who's a fantastic wrestler, has a great gimmick, but never really amounted to much. as far as WWE is concerned. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Too sweet. Hearty handshake. Later.
Thank you, Matthew Lawrence. All right, going in raw math for Doink the Clown.
All right, let's do it.
That's what he wants. In ring.
He was at least like a 6, right?
Yeah,
he
he was a good wrestler.
I don't have a strong enough sample size.
Promo. I mean, he could be a decent promo, like 6 promo.
Oh, I'd give him a 7 promo. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt on that. He's a clown.
Here's the thing about Doink. I felt like he wanted to take it further than he was allowed to.
Yeah, man. If you see,
he wanted to do like Jack Nicholson Joker type stuff.
Yeah, his promos in ECW are really good. That's why I threw a 7.
Yeah.
His look, he looked like a clown.
Yeah, but there was some darkness underneath all that.
Yeah,
there was something.
But is any of that scream wrestler?
No, 6.
6? You give him as much as a 6?
Yeah.
All right.
Because in terms of clown design, it was pretty good.
Yeah, strong clown
legacy.
Like if this was clown math, then he's a 10 on look.
Yeah, totally.
Because he looked like a clown.
He looked like a clown. Oh, so 19 divided by 3, 6 plus for being good. That's pretty high. Legacy, not great. Bruce Pritchard's fan of the gimmick. Matthew Lawrence is, and I think that's really only 2. I'll say 3.
3 legacy. Nobody cares about him.
Kayfabe, I don't think he ever won anything.
He didn't win matches? He was really overpowered in the arcade game. In the
he
fighting
was, but
game.
I don't think he won any titles. That's what I mean. He won any belts.
So below average, 4.
Yeah.
I think he was booked strong enough, but never won any titles. So 4.
That's 6 plus 7, 13 divided by 3 is 4 plus.
That sounds right. See, that's right.
Doink is a 4 plus
That's
wrestler.
right. That's right.
Modern day Doinks, wrestlers with maybe some comedic chops, some acting ability, some wrestling skill, underutilized.
Ty Dillinger.
Kurt Hawkins.
That's a better answer.
Kurt Hawkins, ton of charisma, good on the mic.
I know. I really.
He's really good in the ring.
I know.
He's funny. He can do drama well. He can do seemingly everything well.
He had the funny thing about Kurt. He's also got the it factor.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that extra something that makes you want to watch him.
Just didn't bring him back on that dumb face the facts gimmick.
Oh, it was terrible.
That just instantly put him in a huge hole.
I know.
Because it was horrible. I mean, they hyped his debut and it happened during the pre-show for No Mercy. We were there for that.
I know. It was terrible.
So bad.
It was awful.
It was so bad. He's really good, though.
No, I like him a lot.
Hopefully this pairing, again, with Zack Ryder will lead to something.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
Let's see here. Next up, we got a question about dream matches from Lindsay. Let's see what she has to say.
Hey, Steve and Larson. It's Lindsay here. Actually sick and in my pajamas. But my Matt Chat question for you is, what would be your dream match to see with wrestlers that are dead or alive, or in the independents, WWE? I think mine would be Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles, which is, I know, AJ Styles' dream match as well. I would love to hear back.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I'll go. No, you go first.
I'll go first. All right. I have a couple.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels and Kenny Omega. I just thought of this one too. I think this would be really good. Ricky Steamboat and Kenny Omega. Ooh. 2 guys that worked fast, and faster.
Why don't you just go straight to Randy Savage versus Kenny Omega?
How do you know I wasn't going to get there?
Are you going to go there?
Macho Man versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah. How about then? No, I want this. I'd rather have this. Macho Man versus Okada. Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
now, man, you know what my number 1 is? Eddie Guerrero versus Andrade Cien Almas.
See it right there. It's written down.
Well, they can't see it.
Well, you asked me. You were looking at me when you asked the question. You weren't looking toward the camera. You're looking at me.
That'd be a killer match.
It'd be really good.
The mocking these days that Almas is doing. With I got to see a face Eddie match, too.
Yeah.
He was going to take on the U.S. champion. I was in the Nitro I was watching last night.
Oh, yeah.
Bash at the Beach is coming up. U.S. champion was, I forget who, but he was going to take him on.
Yeah.
And I hope he won.
Me too.
I don't know how, I don't know how
what year was this?
96. Bash at the Beach 96.
Bash 96.
Bash at the Beach 96.
Well, that's one where Hogan turned.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, Luger and Sting and all them were in Sting makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Steven Regal. Really? No, that's not right.
Well, it says for a singles match. That's not for the U.S. title. U.S. champion at the time was Conan in 96.
All right, well.
Must not have been Bash at the Beach then.
That's weird.
Weird. All right. Well, If your timeline's mixed up a little bit there, Steve. Anyways, next question. Richard Morris, non-wrestling related, but it's a good one, so we'll answer it anyways.
Hey, Stephen Larson, Richard Morris with another Matt Chat question. Non-wrestling question this week. Which movies do you love that were, if you come across them on TV, could be halfway through, could be 3/4 of the way through, could be a quarter of the way through, that you'll stop and watch? I did this just yesterday. Happy Gilmore was on. That's one of mine. I can stop and watch that in the middle of anything. Same thing with Waterboy. Deadpool, and Avengers Infinity War, Iron Man. Those are the types of movies that if I come across them, I'll stop, I'll watch them. Doesn't matter where it is in the plot during the movie. So, once again, top 5. Too sweet, hearty handshake. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Richard Morris.
Thank you, Richard Morris.
I'll list some. This one we're in total agreement on. Zodiac.
This was literally the first thing I thought about.
You actually drew a little doodle.
I drew, well, at first I was like, yeah, here, like
Zodiac.
I wrote Zodiac, but then I drew a picture of Zodiac right here.
Yeah. It's completely and totally rewatchable. You can just, it could be a half hour before it ends, and I'll still watch that last half hour, man.
Because here's the thing. The final scene, the final scene, but then the scene before that when Graysmith, when what's his face, Jake Gyllenhaal, is talking to Bruce Banner in the diner. Yeah. When Mysterio is talking to Bruce Banner in the diner. Yeah. And he's like door to door, where Paul Allen, Arthur Lee Allen, lived. Is 50 yards away from where that girl worked that died. The first
the woman that worked at the diner. Yeah.
Oh, that gives you chills. Yeah, that's such a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Another one for me at least, Boogie Nights. Oh, we see that movie. We saw that movie 7 times in the theater. Yeah, together. Yeah, just completely rewatchable. Empire Strikes Back, one of my favorite movies ever. Watched it a ton as a kid. Never get tired of it. And also similarly, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, super quotable. Super rewatchable, man.
See, Wrath of Khan, I'm totally with you on that one. If it's a Star Wars movie, give me the most recent Last Jet. No, I'm sorry. The most recent is Solo, not that one. That's turn off quick as you can. Last Jedi, I can watch that from any point in that movie. Also, from the same director, Rian Johnson, Looper.
Looper's real good.
That's a great movie. I thought Drive.
Drive's really good.
Big fan of that movie.
Yeah, I'll watch that one.
This is a deadly one. The Godfather. Because you get that early on, you're done for the day.
For 2.5 hours,
Well, if it's on like USA, you got commercials.
That's
you're
3 hours.
Done.
That's a time commitment.
You're done, right? And then I also put on here The Fountain.
Interesting.
I really love that movie. And that's the kind of movie I could actually watch at any point in that movie.
I don't know if I've seen it since the first
since
year
the first
it came
one?
out. Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times.
I've seen it since the first time I watched it.
It's one of those movies where I can just watch, and I'll cry at the end every single time. Oh, I love it. It's all about getting over the death of a loved one. It's amazing. Or it's about a guy floating in a big bubble in space. Either one.
Yeah. Could be both. Could be all those things.
Well, it is kind of all those things.
Yeah.
But, oh boy, it's a heavy flick. It's a heavy flick, but not really.
Yeah, I know, because it's like kind of thematically it is, but in terms of like the character stuff, it's kind of like all the characters are kind of ciphers.
Yeah,
you put yourself into the characters as much as you want to. And that's kind of commensurate with what you get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you invest in the characters, based on yourself, then you'll get a lot out of it. But if you're just sitting there kind of watching it to watch it, you probably won't get anything out of it.
Yeah. I love the story behind that movie too. How it was supposed to be a much bigger budget with like Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and it all fell through.
Yeah. And then finally, we have a text question from Toastmaster.
77,
also known as Al.
Yeah.
I call him Al.
Al.
You looked at me funny. I was like, wait, do we have a video here? It's
no,
written
there's
out.
text right there.
All right. He said, I want you guys each to pick one current NXT superstar that you would have wanted to stay in the Indies a bit longer so that they would sign with AEW instead. Thank you. Too sweet. No handshakes because Larson is sick. Sorry, that is correct. You do not want to do that.
I did a pretty good job washing my hands. So anyways, you go first.
No. Mine is obvious. This is so obvious. And your answer is garbage, by the way.
No, I got a good answer, man.
Candice freaking LeRae. Candice LeRae. I don't know what more she would have had to have done in order, because she said it was her dream to go to WWE.
Yeah.
And she got there, and they're like, hey, we have a great role for you, Naggy wife. Oh, but I'm like one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Oh, yeah, we know. That's awesome, but you're going to be Naggy wife. Nah, fuck that. Go straight to go to AEW and light up that women's division.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, that would be great. And then maybe by the time she would have been done with her like 8-year contract, whatever AEW has her signed to, Then Gargano would have been already on main, and she wouldn't have had to have worried about being Maggie wife.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the right answer.
All right. No, it's Adam Cole, man.
That's a terrible answer.
It's a great answer.
That's the worst answer.
Reunion of the Super Click. Adam Cole, Young Bucks. Yeah.
That's a terrible answer.
No, so we never got that story between Adam Cole and Kenny Omega.
I really just want Adam Cole.
Because Adam Cole went to WWE instead.
I desperately want him to be on the same brand as Kevin Owens.
That'd be great. It'd be great.
Desperately want that.
But they probably won't do that because that means that would actually be entertaining. No, Adam Cole should have waited, had a 4th reign as Ring of Honor champion, then went to AEW.
Ring of Honor.
Super Click program with Kenny Omega. That's money. That'd be great.
No,
never got to see it. Probably never will now.
That would have been kind of interesting to see how that would have played out. The whole Adam Cole Bullet Club U.S. leader versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I'm telling you, I've been good.
Yeah. But no, he's where he belongs. Anyways, that's it for Matt Chat. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.